Just bear with me if there's anybody here. I can't see a darn thing right now. I'm just trying to get logged in here. Having some technical difficulties this morning, so just bear with me for a couple of minutes, please. I'm a little bit early. Anyhow, giving me an awfully hard time. Sorry for the movement, just bear with me. All right, I think I've got it. Now there's going to be a little bit of movement here again. Sorry for this. And now I've lost it again. Here we go. Hello, Carol. Sorry for all of that, but sometimes technology gives us grief. All right. Good morning, good morning. All right, we are going to get started because with all this mess, I'm a little bit late. I apologize for that. Today we are going to be making two projects with new product in the annual catalog. It is the Christmas to Remember stamp set and the coordinating Christmas pine cone dies. Now, this is a fabulous set. It has the background layer, the overlay layer, and then all kinds of little pine cones that go with. Now, there's no images in this stamp set that coordinate with this die set. However, you're going to want this because the greetings in this set are fantastic, but it's not necessary to go with the die set. Also, this is part of a suite of products on page 17 of your catalog. Sorry, I can't show you that yet. Almost did something wrong there. I'm not allowed to show the inside of the catalog, but on page 17 of your catalog, you'll notice that there are two bundles, Christmas Season and Christmas to Remember. I learned very quickly this morning that you're going to want both. I only ordered the Christmas to Remember bundle, and I was wishing like heck that I had the other one because that's what we're going to need. They coordinate so beautifully together. Okay, so we're going to be using those. We're going to be using the Gilded Gems. I've also used the Hippo and Friends dies because I had to substitute because I didn't have what I needed. I needed my chamois and my layering circles dies. The ink pad I chose was Cherry Cobbler, along with this metallic ribbon. It's Cherry Cobbler and gold. This is beautiful stuff. So that's the items that we need to make our cards. So we're going to get started. I chose a Cherry Cobbler card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I did not cut a piece of paper for the inside yet. It's typical. Next, I chose a piece of our craft 6x6 paper. Now, this stuff is really, it's a cross between a cardstock and a DSP. It's a really nice weight. And it's going to be going right here on the front of our card so that I just have that cherry border. And you're going to want to use a nice strong adhesive for this if you choose this paper. So I'm going to be generous with my Tombow, and I'm going to pop this down in place like so. All right, that's our card base. Now I used those beautiful dies and I cut the back one in Evening Evergreen. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I cut the front one, the overlay, in Shimmery White. Now I chose Shimmery White for two reasons. Number one, of course, there's some shimmer in the paper, but that paper is a little bit thicker than the basic white. And I actually put some adhesive sheets on the back of mine before I ran them through, hoping, now I'm saying hoping, that it's going to make it super, super easy to lay these down. Now I don't think it would be difficult to do it with just using Tombow because there's lots of surface area here. But because it's a big piece, I had the adhesive sheets and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to use them. I'm going to make my life easier when I can. And you see how easy that peeled off the back. And I'm just going to center this up where I want it and place that down. How easy was that? All right. Easy peasy, right? All right, now you'll see that these pine cones layer over those pine cones. So once again, I use the adhesive sheet and I am going to carefully, I don't want to rip anything. Peel off that backing. And now this is where my head's going to get in the camera because I want to lay that pine cone in place. There we go. And then we'll pop this one down in place, and that one should. And these are designed to just offset a little bit so that you can see the beautiful Evening Evergreen in behind. And then we'll just press those all down into place. Pretty easy so far, huh? And when I ran these through the die cutting machine, I'm going to show you these dies once again. These are very intricate dies. And what I did is I put my adhesive sheet onto my piece of cardstock, then I laid the die on top, okay? I ran it through my machine once and back through, then I took it and I flipped it and I ran it through and back through. Because it had that plastic or waxed layer from the adhesive sheet, I wanted to make sure that I got it so that it came off cleanly. And then what I did is I just put this on my foam mat and used my die brush, and I just ran this all over and they all fell out. So it was no problem whatsoever doing it that way. All right, so we have our shimmery white on there. So I have done some prep work, obviously, because you guys didn't need to see me die cut all this stuff. I have used the hippo dies and cut out this piece of gold foil. And I want to caution you guys, when you're using foil, make sure that if your top plate has marks on it, that you put a piece of copy paper over the foil so that it doesn't scratch up your foil. Okay? And then I have a stamped a greeting. May this be a Christmas to remember and cherish. And then I just die cut this with my layering circles dies. Holy, I'm having trouble this morning remembering things. All right, I'm going to glue that on, but I'm going to be really careful to keep the glue in the center portion because I don't want it to seep over and show, because you cannot get adhesive off foil. Isn't that pretty? All right, so I'm thinking that this is going to go down here in this corner. And I'm thinking I want this looped behind. Yes, Carol, I know you're just having a fit right now, but that's okay. You can handle it, girl. I'm putting some ribbon on here, but I'm going to do it different. It's not going to be a bow. It's going to be a loop. And I'm thinking like so. But before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to show you these. These are the pine cones, and these two are in 2 layers. And you might think, oh my god, that's a lot of work. Believe me, it's not. Super simple. Ran them through the die cutting machine, and I've got a couple over here in different colors that I'm going to show you. There's the gold foil, and there's what it looks like. Okay, so super simple. And well, let's do it right now. I'm just going to flip over a little piece of punch poop, flip over the die cut, get my glue started, and just, that's what I did. Just a little bit. Lay it on top and press it in place. Okay, so there it is with gold foil. There it is with gold on gold. Don't know whether the camera's picking that up. There it is, gold on soft suede. And there it is, early espresso on soft suede. So I had fun this morning cutting a whole bunch of those. And if you look at the die cut, there's places where the pine cones are going to go. So there's a big one that's going to go over here. So I'm just going to pop some adhesive on there and put that one in place. And now there's a little one right here. I'm going to pop some adhesive on there and pop that in place. Little one here. A little one here. And then a big one down here. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments, and whoever's here, please say hello so that I know who's here. All right, so if I was to put this down here, the only one that's going to show is that big one at the top. So I'm not going to waste any. I'm just going to pop it in here. There we go. All right, we're almost done. I am going to I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. And you know what how I'm going to do this so that it stays? I'm just going to grab a piece of this washi tape that just happens to be sitting on my desk. I'm going to put the ribbon the way I want it, and I'm going to run the washi tape across the back. Okay, it's where it's going to be. Now I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors and trim off my tails. I think my loop is too big. Good thing it's washi. That way I can lift this up and readjust. Let's shorten that loop a little bit. There we go. Now I can put this on with some dimensionals. Got some bones here. We'll use them up. And that sheet is done. All right, so now we just need to take off all of these paper backings. And remember, this is going to be a one-shot deal when we put this down because of all the layers that we have underneath. So we need to be sure that our greeting is straight and where we want it. Just like so. Man, that's pretty. Actually, I'm going to do it in the same direction. And I got to go shorter. And shorter still. There we go. All right, let's get rid of all this garbage. Now, I brought in the gilded gems, and I'm just going to pop some of those around here and there. Just to add a little sparkle where we need it. And I'm using different sizes. I guess I'm going to put 5 on this card. One, two, three, 4. Where am I going to put it? How about up here? Tuck it right in there. There we go. What do you think? I hope you can see all that sparkle without the reflection. Let me see if I can get it showing in the camera here. There's a little delay, so bear with me a second. I hope I'm not blinding you. Yeah, I think you can see it. I love, love, love this bundle. It's gorgeous. The catalog does not do it justice. All right, there's card number 1. We're going to set that aside. And now we are going to clean up our mess to start with. And then we're going to start our second project. All right. So, for our second project, I have brought in, I can't even remember what they're called. They are called ombre gift bags. I'm sure most of you have seen me use these before. You can cut them down and use them as DSP on cards. Today we're going to use it as a gift bag. All right, so I have also brought in the painted Christmas, oops, things are falling on top of me. Painted Christmas 12 by 12 DSP. This stuff, guys, is gorgeous. I'm going to bring it out and show it to you close up again. There's side A and side B. A and B. Isn't that pretty? A and B. That one's a little wild for me. A, but check that out. B, A, B. I love the colors in here. And now we have another bright one. And some holly berries. And that's all the patterns. So you've checked those out. Now I'm going to tell you the colors. Calypso Coral, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Evening Evergreen, Garden Green, Pear Pizzazz, Real Red, soft seafoam, and soft succulent. So there's a ton of beautiful colors in that paper. Okay, so this has the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. Okay, so next I chose this piece of DSP, and that I think I cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm just going to put that right on the front of my bag with some Tombow. This would be great little bag if you wanted to. You could use this as a gift card holder. You could make a little card that you would insert on the inside of the bag. With their gift card holder would be down here. Like I have a gift card holder here. I guess it's a PC Plus card. Anyway, if you put like a card to insert in here, you could put your greeting on your card inside and have this just with the glue dot stuck at the bottom. That would be really cool. The opportunities for this project are endless. So I have that on there. Then I used a piece of this DSP that I love so much, and it's coordinating, but instead of cutting this out of cardstock, I decided to cut this out of DSP. All right, so this is going to go on here eventually, but I'm going to set that aside, and we are going to build our pieces on here. So we're going to decorate this bag, and I took one of the die cuts and I cut it in 3, and I'm going to take these little pieces. I didn't use my brush on this one. I just die cut it and cut it in 3. I'm going to take my take your pick tool and take these little pieces out just in case. I don't think you'll see them, but I would hate to put it all together and then see the pieces. That would not be cool with me. It'd be so much easier if I just got out my mat and my brush, but you know me. All right, so like I said, I cut this piece into 3, and you can pretty much see where the best place is to cut them. And I'm going to use that as a backdrop, but I'm going to skew it a little bit like this so we can still see that gorgeous DSP, right? I'm going to go something like that. So now I'm going to put some adhesive on the middle pieces that are going to go on the paper, just to hold it in place. Something like that. Okay. And those pieces I don't think I'm going to use, because if I put too many on here, oh, maybe this one I will. Changed my mind. It's a work in progress, my friends. It's a work in progress. I see somebody else hovering in our group here, but they're not saying anything. I bet you it's Michelle. Are you hovering in the background this morning, Michelle? All right. I'm not going to fight to get all of these out. I'm just going to take... There we go. All right. So I am going to double this one up. Put some... Tombow on the middle portion again. And this one's going to go in the same direction, just skewed again slightly. All right. We are well on our way. Now, I've pre-stamped another one of the greetings out of that set. And this is a reverse greeting. You stamp the background and the greeting stays white. Isn't that cool? So we're going to use that. And then because I didn't have that other Stampin' die set, I had to fussy cut out of this paper. And it's the same paper that I just showed you. I have some of these little elements, leaves, berries, and I'm going to use some pine cones. And that's why I did some in gold, because I thought those would be fabulous. So I think I'm going to put the pine cone on with dimensional. Okay. And that way I'll be able to tuck the leaves and berries in behind, if that makes any sense. So if I put that one kind of like that, and I think I'm going to use all gold. This one's gold with the early espresso, but these ones are gold on gold. All right, now maybe tuck this baby under its mama a little bit. And I'm going to hang on to this one for a minute. I need to get some greenery in here. So I think I'm going to tuck that one. Just put some adhesive on the back of the stem, and I'm going to tuck that one down in like that. And I like that the leaves are popped up, giving it some dimension. And perhaps this one I can tuck over here. Once again, some adhesive on the back. And something like that. Now I've got these pretty, pretty berries. I've got to figure out where I'm going to put my greeting too. Oh, I think I'm going to put this on next. Pop this on dimensionals as well. Because if I don't get this on here, it might look funny. Boy, you're silent this morning, ladies. It's like I'm here by myself. Oops, that's crooked. Get that off there before it's stuck. All right, let me get this up so I can see it good. There we go. All right. Oh, I kind of like that. We'll put some adhesive on the back of this one. And tuck. And I have some more here. I'm going to put this one in, not that we need it, but just because it's a different shade of green. And I'm just going to tuck it right down in here. Yep, I think that'll do it. And you just got to kind of play with these to figure out what's going to look good in your eyes. Now I have this other pine cone. Where do I want to put it? Or do I want to put it? Yeah, I think I do. Right in here. Which basically covers that poor little leaf I just put in there. That's okay. We got a little peeking out. Isn't that pretty? You guys see all that beautiful sparkle and dimension? I'll let you look down this way. All right, let's get rid of this punch poop and move on. All right, so here is my greeting element going on here, and I have a bow. I think this bow is going to bring it all together. Now that I'm looking at it, this is kind of getting a little lost. So bear with me while I find some early espresso. I think is going to be in order. And I guess I'm not as prepared as I thought I was. Actually, that's what happens when I get creating things. Now, where is my Hippo and Friends dies? And I need the largest one. Let me grab my snips, or actually I'll grab these big shears. And we're going to do a little magic on this guy. I'm going to bring in the big boss this morning, and we will die cut this frame. I just had an idea. I want to try something here. Bear with me. Don't know if it's going to do what I want it to do, but we'll see. And I know this machine is not all on camera, but I'm sorry, I just can't get it all on here this morning the way that I've got the camera set up without zooming back out, and then it's harder for you guys to see. So just bear with me for a second more and I will show you what I've done and get this big boss out of here. Okay, let's get the die back in the die set, and I'll bring in the pieces that I die cut. This is just garbage. All right. So I die cut the end twice because I had a little bit of scrap cardstock left over, and I die cut this guy once. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these shears and I'm going to cut this right in half. Bam, right down the middle. Now, if I bring this back in, this is going to allow me to offset this just a bit. Do you see that? To put that little frame around. And hopefully it's going to make that stand out a little bit on our gift bag. That's my hope anyway. So I'm just going to just give this a hint like so, and I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom, because when I chose this pattern on pattern, it kind of got lost a little bit on the bag. All right, now I'm going to do a little more trimming here. And a little more trimming over here. Now, these end pieces, I'm going to pop on the end here. Same thing, just to give a little bit of a shadow. And make this piece pop. Now the back of this is not going to look pretty whatsoever, but that's okay. Nobody's going to see the back. All right. Check it out. See how that makes that pop? It doesn't get lost anymore, and it makes the DSP more noticeable. All right, so we're going to use dimensionals, and we're going to use a lot of dimensionals because we do not want this to move. All right, paper backing's off. It is Michelle. She's just being silent this morning. Hello, Michelle. All right, so I'm just going to pop this down off to the side here. I'm going to let that gorgeous DSP shine. And now I have this cute little bow. So I need a glue dot or two. Well, maybe I'll find one on here. Holy, I need to rip that out of there. All right, I found one. We'll put one on the back of the bow and one on each of the tails. All right, let's see what kind of damage I can create here. Pop that there. Get that going where I want it. And that going where I want it. And now I'll bring in my ribbon scissors and trim those tails off so they're pretty. All right, we're doing well. Let me put some of this stuff away. Oops, flying dimensionals. All right, I think I'm going to use some of those gilded gems on here too, ladies. They're just so pretty. All right, I have 3, so let's use them. I'm going to put one right there, one right there, and one down here. There we have it. There is the gorgeous. I have to wait for the camera to catch up here to see if you guys can see this because I'm delayed. Yes, that is so very pretty. And you can tuck a little gift in there, or you could do the gift card thing. The possibilities are endless with these little bags. And those bags, again, I forget the name of them. Ombre gift bags are $8.25, and there are 20 in a bag. All right, let's bring back in this card. There is our first card. Beautiful. Love all that gold glitter. And once again, this is the Christmas to Remember stamp set and the coordinating pine cone or Christmas pine cone dies. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. I am glad to see you. Wish I could see you all in person. That's not possible at this time, but fingers crossed it may happen very soon. All right. Stay safe. Bye-bye, my friends.